Hey y'all, and welcome to the Southland Piper. I'm your host Tim. Hope you're doing well today. I've recently been really drawn to the squat bulldogs and squat Rhodesians. So today I've got another squat Rhodesian. Um, it's a no name, but it needs a little work. So let's turn around to the workbench and get started. All right, let's take a closer look. This one has that ram horn design, like the one of my previous pipes. Like I said, no nomenclature on it whatsoever. I asked the seller about the size of the tenon. Many of you know that I smoke um, filtered pipes, and so I have no idea. They said it was stuck, and it is firmly stuck in there. So the first thing I'm gonna do is stick it in the freezer or refrigerator for a few minutes and see if we can't get this stem out. Let's give this pipe another shot. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. I did, before I put it back in there, I did put a little alcohol in to try to break things up. So all in all, that was about 25 minutes in the refrigerator. All right, I'm wiping it down, and let me fold this up and put a little bit more alcohol on that. Let's just give that a good spin around the inside of the bowl. The stem has a fair amount of oxidation, so I will be putting it inside that before and after oxidation remover. Okay, we dried most of that alcohol up. Inside the bowl, really not much. The pipe has not been smoked very much at all. So, all right. Well, we've seen that the stem is plenty tight. I wouldn't necessarily say that's due to, being a really overly dirty pipe. So we may have to actually work on this one to loosen the fit a little bit. Occasionally I run into that, but not often. But anyway, we'll make sure everything's good and dry. But I'm going to go ahead and clean the inside of the stem, and I'll clean the shank out real well. And but yeah, I'm happy with the condition. That's a good positive. All right, I'll get this cleaned up and put in the solution, and we'll take a look at it when it gets out. And I'm going to scrub this with some good old Murphy's. That's all it is. Soft bristled toothbrush and some Murphy's and a little water, and that's all I do. All right, let's talk about this pipe for a minute. Um, I hadn't picked up a pipe in a couple of weeks. A lot going on. You saw my previous video, but also some other things. So just hadn't felt like it. But I thought, go out and let's work on a pipe. Now this pipe, when I first started working with it, I said it had a stuck stem. It did. But I also said that looks like it only smoked 2 or 3 times. You can still see the markings for the jaws. Maybe you can right there. But I thought, man, that stem sure is stuck for a pipe that's only been smoked 3 or 4 times. So that was a red flag. But my biggest red flag is when I went in to wash it with the Murphy's soap. oil soap. Typically, when you scrub one of these down with a soft bristled toothbrush, it's going to strip out a lot of the finish as far as the leather dye that's been used on these. This one's been washed 4 or 5 times. It should be a lot lighter, and it comes out pretty much looking like this. That's not right. But me being that I was just not, I had a lot on my mind. I just kept shrugging my shoulders and kept, going at it. The grain looked fine, although on the end you don't see the grain quite as well. Another red flag that I shrugged my shoulders at. It does have a large feel. I thought somebody did a pretty poor job, and it showed up more after washing. But I thought, oh, I can texture that and rusticate that back in. It'll be fine, and then put a dark stain back on it. So after I washed it 5 or 6 times, it came out this color, and it shouldn't be. Murphy's Oil Soap will strip out a lot of the um, coloring in the alcohol dyes. So started looking closer. There was a little piece right here that was kind of hanging out into the bowl that was kind of attached but not attached, and it had rustication on it, but it chipped right off. Thought that was a little odd. So I started pecking around inside the bowl, and there we go. And that goes out to that feel. And it's not unusual to find, burnouts and stuff, but this isn't a burnout. This isn't even a large, flaw in the briar because this is not briar. This is a resin pipe. And I really hadn't paid much attention to the red flags until I washed it. I got a feeling, and the seller, they just sell pipes every now and then. They have antiques, and so I don't think they were trying to do anything. They've got a 30-day money back guarantee. They said, "Fine, we'll take it back. Sorry," all that kind of stuff. So I don't believe it's their fault. They did say the stem was stuck, and it is extremely, extremely tight. I think that the pipe stumble was not fully cured when the stem was fitted, and that's why it was so stuck. I mean, I cannot get it any further than that. I mean, turning hard. So anyway, yes, it is. I got it stuck in there good. It is a resin pipe. So I got a little hoodooed, but I guess it can happen. The pictures weren't great. They weren't bad, but they weren't great. But anyway, the nice thing about eBay is a lot of times people will give refunds. You can return items, but even if they say no returns accepted, contact eBay. I've had to do this myself and tell them the pipe was not as described, and this one was briar pipe and in excellent condition, and it wasn't either one of those. So I'm getting ready to box this back up and send it back so I can get my refund. But you know, I just didn't pay attention to the red flags that I was seeing, and it was waving some. But anyway, hopefully y'all found this a little interesting, and I'm just going to have to start a video on another pipe. But thank you for joining me today, and talk to you soon. Bye.